Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Psychonauts. Let's continue. So we were just starting this level and we weren't able to save, which is going to be a problem if I'm locked out of saving for a long time, and we're doing... I don't know what we're doing. Do we just walk around the edges here? Like, why am I upside down of where the playfield is? I mean, we've got guys. Alright, so you can just walk. And see, that really feels like that is the way this whole game is planned to be made, is that there will be several levels where you are straight up just
Razputin,
walking around.
valves? That is where the sensors are leaking out. Blast the valves to shut them down and get this area under control.
Yeah, another cutscene. It does kind of just feel like this is a... can we have to hit this, guys, I guess? Like, I don't think we can... You have to punch the vault to open it. So we'll just open this Sasha's first loss. See it rattle. And then food. So this is all around the mother, and then the father's behind her. And then the mother dies. The father's sad. Okay, good to know. Like, So, it seems to me like this is kind of a predecessor to Mario Galaxy in a lot of ways. And I'm a little surprised there honestly wasn't complaints as far as just kind of blatant theft of a concept. But I guess Nintendo can get away with that much more than many other companies. Like, on the other hand, Mario Galaxy 2 are about the only games in that whole setup. So, if Double Fine, say, was owned by Microsoft at the time that Psychonauts came out, we would probably have 3 or 4 games in the Psychonauts series, and there's a cobweb, so we'll still have to come back to this world later. These guys don't knock you off the edge or anything. And it seems like if they drop anything, they are collected, so if I fall off the edge, also, I'm fairly safe. And in all fairness, I suppose Mario Galaxy, having played all of Mario Galaxy, I know in my mind there's a lot more to Mario Galaxy where I haven't played all of this game, and so far all I've seen is the element of the... What's this? I'm already at maximum projection depth. What does that mean? This isn't a particularly good level as far as the shooting ability, like because you're on these tiny little platforms. Yeah, you're on these tiny little platforms anyways. So you can't span out and go further. I'm glad I could jump through the edge there. So it's weird that you're being shown a bed here, because it feels like this is a toddler's bed when really it probably should have been a big cradle. And yeah, it's just not really worth it to waste a lot of time trying to beat a bunch of these enemies.
Good. Well, you got them all.
There's toy blocks and a bed. And then you're just back to the over-organized thinking of his brain. Which I guess that means we're back to some form of training. So there is a sorry, my voice is really rough today.
Close one leak down and another springs up. Well,
I'm gonna
come on.
cough
You've
and
got
mute
to take
myself
care of these
while this
too.
cutscene plays. Okay, there is like intrusive thoughts that everybody has, like usually classified as negative, unwanted thoughts. People often get kind of obsessed about having these random negative, intrusive thoughts and will think they're crazy or seek out therapy, and therapy can help you a little bit with it, but frankly it's something that just happens as long as you're not acting on these random normal thoughts. A commonly classic one is for a parent to hold a crying baby and think, what if I was to just throw this baby against the wall? That's very common for frustrated parents. Of course, if you think there's any chance whatsoever of acting on it, it is much more it's important to just put the baby down in a safe space and walk away. And if it doesn't stop crying, fine, just let it cry itself out. It's better to neglect a crying child for a few minutes than it is to act out of rage and permanently injure a child. But certainly Agent 9 here, which 9 is German for no, has created in his mind something that A, will never work, and B, is not mentally healthy. It's an obsessive desire for control in all things, including your own random thought patterns. There are definitely more up there. I don't know how you would be able to reach up there. About to die. I don't want to die, so is there a way to regain some health? Nope. Dream Fluff activated. Good thing I bought the Dream Fluff. Certainly if you're raised in a certain cultures that are like anti sex before marriage, or anti thoughts against the state, young people can often be very upset when they have natural questioning urges or just natural sexual thoughts. And that can certainly mess them up too. That leads to the not real diagnosis of sex addiction. There's nothing in the Diagnostic and Statistics Manual for sex addiction. There is OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and obsessive thoughts and things like that, which is a more general category. But no good real psychologist or therapist would ever diagnose anyone with sex addiction. And that is something that wives often claim their husbands have, because they simply have a different level of comfort with the level of libido their husbands have versus their wives, or vice versa even. It's also occasionally the case that the male has a low libido. See, I may have to just run out of here. Let's just finish this game because I'm gonna die otherwise. Every time you lose your mental health, you peel off a layer of your astral projection. If you lose all the layers, you will no longer be able to maintain a projection in the mental world, and you will be kicked out to the real one. Collect the markers like this to replace layers, and collect markers like this to increase how many layers you can maintain at once. Okay. So you've got these little kamikaze bombers, which I guess that means if I do just run around a little bit, might be able to. What is that? There are certainly destructive behaviors one can have, and poor impulse control ones can have. So there is certainly somebody who can be obsessed with sex and then end up sleeping with like prostitutes and ruining their marriage or their relationships. But it's not really an addiction as is described in actual medical text, because an addiction is something that you are chemically dependent on. So you can be addicted to alcohol to the point where they will prescribe you alcohol if you're before surgery, otherwise you'll die. But there is no level of chemical change in the brain or chemicals being added to the brain when you have sex. Those are just natural mental processes. So it would be like saying you were addicted to air or addicted to water. Those are things you have to have, and certainly actions can become problematic. I don't know how I'm supposed to. Oh, well, I'm supposed to get down there, I guess. And this whole game, I guess, is going to lead with us becoming talking more, I imagine, on these topics. And see, because I just chose to end that early, I missed a couple of collectibles, which is fine because we're gonna have to run through this anyways, and it seems like at some point we're gonna have increased lives, so it would make a lot of sense to also potentially have increased health. Or we'll just have so much in the ways of skill or defenses that it'll play a secondary role. We should grab as many figments as we can, particularly at the moment when they're not really attacking me. But that's not really working, is it? I'm about to die again. Because they kind of take a health, each one of these suicide bombers. We've now earned this new side power. But take note that the fire, the psychokinesis thing, has not been used at all. All emotional badges sorted. I don't know what that was.
I completely blocked off all of Sasha's sensor outlets. I can't wait to tell him.
Young man, I hope you have learned a lesson here today.
What would be
Yes, I have.
funny
That shooting things is fun
is
and
if it
useful.
turns out that
That once you
9
lose
is
control
different.
of your own mind, it's very hard to get it back.
Yes, one's thoughts must be 100% controlled at all times.
Well, no. Actually, if you try to completely suppress your undesirable feelings, they'll build and eventually explode.
Oh, so, what would happen if you were to, say, completely block off all your sensor outlets?
Well, there would be a buildup of sensor energy within that would, eventually
So I guess maybe we are
run.
turning
Rasputin.
9
Very fast.
into the and see, this boss is the character on the Psychonauts screenshot, so I wonder if he's one of the few bosses in the entire game.
It's time to earn your merit badge.
When your mental focus is locked, press A and use the left in any direction. This is very useful when circling around your enemies. What locks my mental focus, though? I guess we...
Enough horseplay, Rasputin. Destroy him.
Let's go with right bump.
Rasputin!
Setting him on fire does not seem like it does anything. Alright. Interesting. So... Thought we were having to respawn this.
Peel me off and put me down! Enough!
But apparently, this is some kind of secondary goal? And there's 5 sides.
Sensors are re-energizing the big ones. Watch it.
Okay, well now.
Hey!
So, have I gotten all the little sensors gone? I don't think so. Like... This is not working well. One, I'm zoomed out very far, and that's a problem. 2, he can attack me at different angles, and unless I'm just gonna try and get them so get him so when he comes over a corner, I can lock on him and fire. But I kind of need to get over a corner so we can take this out. Like, I turned off all the valves. You would think that that would be the thing that would stop the sensor from happening. Like, this thing just loves to throw things at a certain angle. And we got him to like a halfway point.
So, is this where I get a speech and learn another lesson?
No. Here's your merit badge. Let us never speak of this again.
Yeah, and I really felt like the game just handed me the victory instead of letting me fail. And each of these animations are uniquely pre-rendered, so you can't even see which merit badges you've already collected, which doesn't even make a lot of sense because it seems like you'd almost certainly do this in a fairly linear pattern.
More things.
Okay, enough about my mind. Let's stay out of my mind for a while. Let's just go back into yours, huh? Step up to the brain tumbler when you're ready.
Okay. So...
Where would you like me to take you, Agent Cruller?
let's see. We want to go back.
Let's go to Ford's, my sanctuary.
Yes, noble Psycho Master.
We'll go back here and we'll unlock the other ability, even though the
recognition of your
Psychonauts.
hard work, dedication, and mental agility, I'm proud to bestow upon you the
It's kind of
official
ridiculous
merit
that you
badge
have to
for
go
Telekinesis.
to this location. And it is kind of ridiculous to get both animations at the exact same time. Telekinesis looks like what the bear was
We
doing.
can use our minds to grasp an object and then throw it. Go ahead, try it yourself.
Okay, so now this is still right bump.
Yes. Now, when you've chosen your destination, oh, good throw. Now, let's see
Throw it
if you
at
can
him.
make it through the hoop.
You sound like my dad.
Hey, I've been thinking about that. Why'd that guy hate psychics so much? What do we ever do to him?
Well, psychics killed his whole family. Cursed them and all their descendants to die in water.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Talk about
And see, that's funny,
revenge.
but I kind of
Tell
wish
me
there
what.
was more,
And
like,
the weird thing is,
character build up.
I'm pretty sure he's actually psychic himself.
Ha! Cuckoo! Well, you can work on him when you get home. For now. Oops.
That just magically
great
went through
shot.
that.
Let's see you do that again.
Let's,
Through the hoop, Razputin.
it just locks in.
Bingo! Okay, last one. Thread the needle, as they say.
Seems like you're fairly easy to miss on your telekinesis grab.
Now, let me show you something. Pick that trash can up and aim your toss at the side of the caravan.
I don't know why you wouldn't have just bothered to have.
Aim it at the side of the caravan.
You're supposed to go in there.
Kablooey! Throwing something against a wall is a little more destructive than tossing it around on the ground, isn't it? Oh no! Another one of my sensors. Now, how'd that get in here? Looks like we're in luck. He doesn't see you yet. Why don't you smash him on the head with that handy trash can? Come on! Use telekinesis to pick up the trash can and throw it at that sensor.
Now, I guess the question becomes,
Oh, be careful now.
do you collect anything
Come on!
if you
Bullseye!
throw
like the
something
trash
at
took
a
him
figment?
out.
Next
I guess that would
lesson,
make getting
we'll
figments
work on
easier.
these snappy one-liners.
Yeah, I would just like to see some major improvements here. Let's see if we can.
Yep. I don't have enough Psy cards to make a new Psy challenge marker.
Interesting. I feel like it's also very weird that we have this whole system. Which, how do you go to the right? Left? Right trigger, left trigger. We had the ability to move to the left and the right, and now I don't have the ability to do that. D-pad. Okay. So we have telekinesis as this ability, or pyrokinesis, but seemingly you have to kind of label them yourself as far as what you're going to set them up to do. And that should have been easier for the game to simply figure that out and do it automatically. It's not crazy to say if there is no skill in a skill slot and you have a skill slot, fill that skill slot. That's simple coding. Now, I suppose if I hadn't collected that card yet, then I probably don't have quite enough skill to get that card. It's up there. Either that or I just missed it. Nope, I just missed it.
Where would you like me to take you, Agent Crawler?
Let's go to the kids'
Take
cabin.
me to the kids' cabins area.
With pleasure.
So theoretically, in this area, there should be some things we can collect now if we look around. Let's see. I suppose the question would be if we get close to this guy and we hit right bump.
Or I will drop you.
Interesting. So we can pick up people.
Okay, that one. Sorry.
We can squash birds.
Hey, Vernon, what's up?
I'm hunting the most dangerous prey of all.
We can come in here and get that. And then if we go down here, I wonder if the item that would find underground arrowheads really just takes you to this area. Alright, so left bump. We now have a turkey sandwich. Still kind of difficult to get away from sliding. Alright, so we found that, and there's probably quite a few
Mental
areas.
cobwebs getting you down. I've got just the device up here in the main lodge store. Why don't you come on up and score yourself a cobweb duster before they're all sold out?
Do I have enough to purchase the cobweb duster? Because that would be nice. It would pretty much ensure that we don't have to wander around a lot of levels multiple times. But I don't think we have enough. And you can't just grab random things. So it's fairly obvious that in a more modern version of this game you would be able to have almost every item have physics around it. That's the beauty of more modern engines, certainly. 2, 3, 4. And see that he automatically jumps around that stuff. He, like, all I was doing was just standing still in that case. I was not actually pushing any buttons. Okay, so how does one reach that area? And so I guess the left trigger indicates a lock. Oops.
Remember to keep filling up those scavenger hunt forms.
So you just stand here, and there's probably an achievement for just doing this and just staying stationary for a very long time. Like, it doesn't seem like you get any higher after the 5th point, but there also possibly is an achievement for doing this, but you have to sit there for 5 minutes or something. So that probably isn't entertaining. So I need to do a single jump, or I need to press down and jump. If I press B, I would have a hard time believing that that was what I was supposed to do. So we're trying to get to rank 30. 30 would give us a new ability. I'm not sure a new ability is particularly even necessary. And it would just, I suppose, be a case of coming over here and saying that there is literally only one side card and one thing that we don't even know about yet. So if I can't see the side card, it could be kind of anywhere. I suspect it's probably somewhere high up. Somewhere like up here. There's a weird thing. I don't know what that is though. That could be nothing. Nothing but a visual glitch. Yeah, I still have yet to get any decent amount of income as far as these arrowheads. And I don't know if that means that I should have saved the money, because I'd be at about 200 right now if I hadn't bought any Psy updates. And I suppose the Psy updates have not proven themselves to be very useful. So yeah, probably done goofed it up. Unless there was something in the cave that I missed. Which it might be that there was something in the cave I missed. It really is highlighting a factor, I think, of where collectibles are going to be troublesome without having a detector that you unlock at some point. Although there aren't that many collectibles, so you could also see the game not giving you a detector. Alright. Moving on to the next area. In this area, there are 9 sidecars and 2 scavenger hunt items. And I think it's probably fairly easy to know where some of those, if not all of them, are. Because we were over here and you had these practice targets that can they can be practiced on. They can also be burnt up. So you don't use any abilities or anything when you burn them up. Oh, there's nothing back here. Interesting. You don't use any psychic shots. Which I guess that means... Did not mean to go this way. I don't think we are ready to take on that area. I don't think I could do anything else. There. There's a collectible. And all kinds of birds. So I guess I need to get to the building. Up here. They desperately need to... If the noises he's making are supposed to be hints to something, they aren't succeeding at being hints, really. Interesting, there's just a house, a roof, and then a roof over roof. I think we probably should talk to the girl just to see if things have changed as far as any of the conversations. I bet they haven't. I bet this is a very static
Look at those
world.
two. Who'd even want a stupid friendship bracelet?
I don't know. I wouldn't mind one.
Yeah? Well, that's stupid.
Interesting. So does
What
that
you doing there?
open
We're
a
making
path?
friendship bracelets. You know, for our friends.
See, I don't know how Raz would be able to make a friendship bracelet or anything like that. We found a gold doubloon. Which, that probably does highlight that we need to look low on top of looking high. There's a lot of opportunity to hide things underground or on the surface level, while video game logic would want me to wander around more. So does everything that has a lantern on it, is that a teleportation spot? Let's check the map. Yeah. If it has a lantern on it, it's a teleportation spot. Good to know. Okay. This is weird because there's these areas up here. Not exactly sure how you get to those areas. Also not sure how I missed that. Just look around. So one thing we had as an issue definitely was that without like a triple jump, this makes no sense. So can I
Can't get a good grip.
grab something?
Hey,
Apparently I
Maloof.
can do this now.
You want some help getting that off your head?
If I take it off, Bobby might just put something worse on it, like a dirtier pair of underpants or an animal with teeth. I'm just gonna wait here until camp's over and my pop comes back to pick me up.
Come on, things can't be that bad. So you've got a jock strap on your...
Fish tied to head. Very clever. Bear investigates, gets wrestled. We'll wait in case Bear wins.
If any bear shows up, feel free to cut right in. Anyway, it is that bad. First, Bobby and Benny locked me in the girls' shower.
Just like
then
more.
they wouldn't let me out of the toilet. Now they won't let me in any of the toilets. And in between, there was a lot of punching.
No. Then we locked you in the TPC.
Maloof forfeits place in Bear wrestling line.
Yeah, this
As
is a
repayment
lot
for
of
courtesy,
abuse.
Bullying now forbidden. All bullies acknowledge, please.
Get bent, commie. I'm gonna take your...
Call next move Deadly Nelson. When screaming starts, eyeball may pop out of bully head. Standing back suggested.
Okay! I won't touch him! Jeez!
So this guy is finally apparently stopped Billy Zilch, which is good because I'd like to see the end of that storyline too, because that was becoming less and less comedic with every instance and more just bullying. Again, this feels like you would not be able to really grab the ledge there. So yeah, hopefully that's just kind of the end of the bullying. I don't know where you really could have gone with that story anyways. It seems kind of silly. What's this? That's just a trash can. I hear a sound effect of somebody walking around. Yeah, but I still don't really see how one would have gotten high enough. To that point, there's a rope here. And the rope is connected to that. And seems like that sounds like there's a goat or something in this area, but I am not seeing a goat. Okay. A lot of this platforming seems like you're just kind of breaking the physics more than you're doing the thing that they expected you to do. It doesn't feel like it's being particularly helpful. I wonder let's just check to see how many scavenger items we found. We found 5. And so, like, we found Eagle Claw Soup is surprisingly tangy and promotes growth of strong fingernails. Possibly the most famous of all poultry-based sandwiches. The second only to the most glamorous sister, the chicken salad sandwich. The turkey sandwich holds a special place in the hearts of food lovers everywhere who crave something that's like chicken but then not. What were Spanish explorers doing in this valley 200 years ago? How did they get their boats over the hills and into Lake Obligata? I'm mispronouncing that word. At that time which at that time did not even exist. What did they leave their doubloons here? Why has no person found this one, though it has been floating in midair all this time? These are just some of the many unanswered riddles held within the mysterious coin. So it seems like you can find all of the scavenger items at any point, which that helps, I suppose. Alright. But at this point, you would have to have like a double or triple jump to be able to get any higher. See, if that worked, if I could stand here where it gives me a little bit more height, and then jump that way and grab the ledge, which I'm not too far away from. That really doesn't feel like I successfully accomplished something, and it just feels like I interesting, I can't pick up the lizard. It runs away, and it doesn't seem like it is something that you can use. Whereas if I was to come like way over here to the squirrel, I mean, I can...
Sorry. See you in hell.
See, that's funny, I suppose, but the wrong tone for a little kid who accidentally killed a bird, because that just makes it sound like you intentionally did it. Right, well, let's see what happens if we start a fire there. Nothing. Nothing whatsoever. In this central area potentially could hide a lot of stuff. We should, I suppose, check just to see what we're looking for. There's 8 more cards, 1 sign marker complete, and 3 scavenger items. Now we have a way of fighting the bears if they decide to show up, so at least we're a little bit safer. Let's see. Let's see. Seems to me like I need to start from that direction and work my way back. At least that's what it seems like it wants. Yep, and you can't psychically hit the squirrels. You can't really even lock on them. There was this cave. Let's go see what's in the cave now. There we go. get you one shot. And unless these arrowheads grow in number, the number of times you collect them, I would have to question that there's probably not as much of a reason for them. Seems like it's very easy to accidentally get stuck on the rails. Right. Yep, and once again, I'm just getting physicsed into collecting things. Okay. Suppose this is the easiest way to pull that off, is just to rail grind. Now we have a Condor Egg. Which, okay. Imagine to get to the rest of this, you take a different route. So that wouldn't be super easy. You think maybe there's something behind the waterfall, or are we running? Nope, nothing behind the waterfall. We probably already collected something there. We are going to very quickly run out of places to investigate. Like, they are going to need to just move us to a completely different area, or the game is just going to wrap up. And I think the game may very well just wrap up. A lot of times you run into games that had a deal with a publisher. And so, for instance, this would make total sense to me that Majesco, as the publisher originally for Psychonauts, said there needed to be this many collectibles, this many levels. And just hard metrics that can be negotiated around, because you really can't account for quality or success that well. You can have hard sales numbers for bonuses in games, but a game development company is not going to allow you to completely base the contract around whether or not a game is popular or not. To the point where they would get paid almost nothing if it wasn't popular. So hard metrics such as a number of collectibles and a number of levels were very, very common, and that's why you see them so often in video games, is that they are easy things to negotiate. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually have gone down more of a path of seeing less of that in later generations of games, and now bonuses are kind of more tied to the idea of sales numbers and either a flat fee, because we definitely have seen more games that are just first-person shooters without all the collectible garbage, collectathon stuff. Also, collectathon stuff is just not anywhere as popular as it once was. Now, this is a decent place to, I suppose, regain your shots. remember they said he would, Crawler would pretend like he doesn't know you, which makes me wonder. You've got to lock on these characters, otherwise they're not going to work with you. So you would think that these tombstones would indicate something, that you would be able to go up and press Y to them, but they don't seem to mean anything. So yeah, unless you were trying to do something like that, which didn't do anything. Yeah, I'm still not. Let's go and talk to this guy.
Wanna see me shoot something?
You want to see me wring your neck like a mop?
No.
Ah, dang.
I need a life refill, and it seems like you can't get those in the overworld, which that seems weird. You'd almost assume that that would just refill by default. Yeah, you can't shoot the squirrels psychically. How many collectibles are even left? There's literally just 2 scavenger hunt items. So is it really worth my time to go for a single arrowhead? No. Although arrowheads might actually point towards more collectibles. There is clearly going to be something around the idea of lighting all the fires, even if that is just a secondary thing you do. Let's see if maybe... Nope. When there's a stick sticking out the top of it, seems like there's nothing there. And it seems like you can accidentally transfer yourself to another area if you're not careful. This is probably the same waterfall. This is actually a smaller area than what I remembered. I think, yeah, if we look at the map, yeah, we are in, I had mentally kind of merged this area with this area into one large area, but now I see that they are actually different. Right. This is just incredibly slow. There's just like no reason for this. So you've got this truck, and you've got this tree, and there seems to be nothing there that you can access or interact with at the moment, but perhaps at some point in the future there'll be something there that you can access or interact with. you can't crawl. This is a game where, since you're playing as a kid, the ability to crawl would, I think, be beneficial. You could certainly have more gates and more paths and just more stuff happening. Like going under the bridge there to reach the next area did not unlock anything. Squirrels are making too loud of a sound. Alright. So, trying to look around here and see if there's possibly something collectible in this region. No, it seems like you just walk there and you load into the next area. Okay. Should be able, I think, to get in here now.
Looks like you got that little patch of dirt pretty well raked.
Shush! I'm looking for my contact lens.
Okay. Did I get some extra health at some point?
That looks like fun.
It's work. I'm testing a low-orbit spaceplane design.
Okay. Let's go down here. Yeah, the arrowheads are giving me higher numbers. Interesting. I wanted to make it fairly easy to get up. So sometimes you just get one arrowhead. Sometimes you get a decent amount of arrowheads. Or not really a decent amount. Sometimes you get 2 or 3. So, and I don't know if that really is random or if there's any actual logic to it. It's certainly not large enough numbers.
I saw Nils.
Hey, Dogen, I got a secret for you.
I didn't mean to talk to
I'm
Dogen.
hiding, and I thought, oh, Nils, when will you peek into the hole in my heart? Because you just see yourself staring back.
Uh-huh. What?
Like, if we could get to 200, which I think is doable, then maybe we can get the cobweb extractor, and then that potentially saves us from having to collect everything. But I don't know if it really does, because I think we will fairly find out that a triple jump is necessary. And maybe that's what this next section is all about, is that it's going to let you peek into your own mind and develop a triple jump ability. How many scavenger hunt items, by the way, are here? 4. And then there's one more side challenge marker, and then 5 more side cards. It's kind of high numbers. Oh, well, here's a side card that I just walked the other way and didn't see it, so that probably does highlight.
Nope, still won't budge.
So,
Nope,
left trigger,
still won't budge. Nope,
right
still won't
trigger,
budge. Nope, Still
fire.
Nope. Still nope. Still nope.
So there's clearly some other ability that we're gonna have to get later to free that thing. See, that seems to be a special squirrel. I don't know if there's anything actually special about that squirrel or if they just were experimenting and decided to program a squirrel that ran into a tree. Two. Like, you can clearly see that there's something glowing around that squirrel. 201. So, unless... yeah. Yeah, there must be some kind of freeze ability. That would make a lot of sense. And hopefully I don't need 300 to get the cobweb cleaner. Let's see. Come on. Yeah, this whole thing is... once again, more breaking of physics than actual platforming, in my opinion. Which, you know, Mario didn't really feel that way. I have to say, like, Mario 64 felt like it would, every jump, every shot you made was intentional and important. Like, there were definitely some crazy things you could have seen Mario do in Mario 64, but they all seemed intentional, or mostly they all seemed intentional. If these arrowheads didn't refill, that would be a different thing. Certainly. But they do refill. So if I just need 100 more arrowheads, it really wouldn't be difficult to run around the entirety of the level a second time. Yeah. There's definitely a lot of kids around here that don't seem like they have anything at the moment new to say. I kind of feel like that is the case it's going to be for most of the game, is that they won't have anything new to say or do. Are we going to at some point shrink? Oh, you can, if you can see a scavenger item, you can Ranger Ford. Interesting, for your big promotion. So that was the glass eye. So if you see something behind a area, you should try and psychically bring it towards you. Okay, well then that probably is the solution with the squirrel too. That no, he just grabs it and runs. If there's a way up, we can't climb these barbed wire fences or anything. So if there was a way up here, I'm not really sure what it is.
Nope, still won't budge.
Walking back around here seems to not respawn the bear. Although these seem to respawn. Right, throw a squirrel.
Look out! See you in hell.
Yeah, it just does not make sense.
Where would you like me to take you, Agent Cruller?
It's time to go to the lake.
Go to the lake, I
Yes,
suppose,
sir,
and
yes,
check that
sir.
out. That way just we can avoid ourselves fighting. Alright, well, I was thinking maybe the fish could be telekinesis, but apparently not. The bird can. I don't know if that's super useful. And getting the second half of the collectibles is questionable, to say the least. I see that over there, but I bet I can't psychically access it. So unless there's some other way to get up there, that still feels like a triple jump. So yeah, I can pretty much just wander this far until I can actually get into this water and deal with the lake monster. Don't think I can really go any further.
What are you doing? Shh!
I'm trying to hear them talk.
Is there possibly some secret thing hidden behind this thick bush? It doesn't seem like it. This is probably
Excuse me,
not.
Admiral?
Eh?
Where can I get an oarsman's badge? I'd really like to take out a canoe.
Gotta get it from one of the official camp counselors. I can't have just anybody in my fleet.
So this is Admiral Crawler. And these two are just gonna stop you. So you can't go any further there. Which definitely makes it feel like there's not really a lot that you can do. Let's see, how many things are even in this area? 1 scavenger hunt item and 8 side cards. That's kind of high a number. But I could see that you probably have to get up very high. And to get up very high, probably have to have some ability to climb trees that are better. Seems to me like you just like best case scenario, you find one, then you try and angle yourself perfectly, then you press A, don't double jump, then you angle yourself perfectly, then you've got to find the right one though. If anything, you need something that's kind of bent. Yeah, it seems like you need something that's fairly bent one direction. So I would assume what this is this. A. But it doesn't seem like that really works. I'd have a hard time imagining you're supposed to just get up on that rock. That doesn't make sense. You can get fairly high here. There we go. And so I guess that's what you were supposed to do. But yeah, there clearly has to just be a lot more content later on. Once we can do the lake. As far as collectibles and scavenger hunt items. So let's go back this way. We can do something here, and we're going a little late. I do recognize that. Let's see if we could maybe...
Hey! Put me down, or my dad will sue your whole family!
So you can psychically pick up people.
I'm going to be quiet and hope that you just go away.
Interesting. So you can just like pick up everybody.
Put me down, or Kitty's dad will sue your whole family.
That's kind of funny. Right, so I can't do the flaming thing. I can start that fire. Interesting, I can't talk to either of them now.
Hey, free airplane rides today. Hey, free airplane rides today.
I don't know if I can't pick her.
A good grip.
Interesting. So I started the fire behind him. Really didn't do anything. I was trying to see if maybe I could turn on.
Can't get a good grip.
Like, there's just nothing in this room. And I can move chairs. Is there some trick to that? I don't think so. There's just kind of, besides chairs, kind of nothing else in this area.
Hey, anything new in the store?
Take a look. Oh, that's my last cobweb duster. Take that into someone's mind with you. You can clean up.
See, we need
They're happy to be rid of the
800
webs, and you can
things.
turn. Now with that, you can change the. Now here's something. Now that Dowsing Rod will help you find arrowheads that are buried deep.
I'll
Let's
take it.
go ahead and buy the Dowsing Rod. The Dowsing Rod can be used to find deeper, more valuable Psychonium arrowheads. Equip the Dowsing Rod and watch and listen to its changing color and sound. This is how it lets you know you're getting closer to a deep arrowhead. Once you're on the right spot, press Y very rapidly to extract the arrowhead from the ground.
What else can I do you for? Now, dream fluffs. Delicious,
go ahead and
nutritious,
buy
sold to the
a
big-headed
couple
kid
of
with the
these.
gloves. What else can I do you for?
I'll take it.
Sold to the big-headed kid with the gloves. What else can I do you for?
Take it.
Alrighty then. What else can I do you for?
We'll get another dream
Alrighty then.
fluff.
What else can I do you for? Now, you take
And
that psi core there. Put it.
do we want another dream fluff?
Delicious. Sold to the big-headed kid with the gloves. What else can I do you for? Now,
So that didn't set us up in a particularly great position.
here's something every young
Whereas a
scientist
mental
needs.
magnet, like, would probably be very useful to grab that
Now
fairly
with that,
quickly.
you can change the. Oh, that's my last cobweb
And
duster.
I could
Take
get
that
the
and
cobweb
take it down
duster.
with you. All right, go get more airhead.
Alright, so equip this. So is the guide telling me that I'm near one? See, I need like a visual aspect that would tell me I'm very close. And I'd assume it would be purple. Why is it changing? I'm gonna hit Y as fast as possible, and it's not doing anything. Interesting. See, like, even hitting it as fast as possible is not getting me where it needs to be. I kind of need a consistent, this deep arrowhead is here checkpoint. The fact that it just kind of changes from blue to pink. It's shaking my controller. So it's kind of doing this wavy effect of air. Alright. So you have, there's basically an area you have to be. You have to be very close to it. And it is there aren't that many of them, and I imagine they are very much in the middle of kind of nowhere. There we go. Alright. And that got me like 86 arrowheads. Which then very quickly this would lead, I think, unless these are finite, to a much better way to get a lot more money. Yeah, that got me like 20.
I'm not picking up anything. Must not be any deep arrowheads nearby.
And so then, what you can't do, unfortunately, is pick up regular arrowheads in the same process. Where it would make a lot of sense to be able to still hit Y. So, if you are close enough, it works. But there is definitely a scenario here where you can be a little bit too far away. And then the Y doesn't quite get you exactly where you want it to be. I think you're gonna end up doing a lot of tiny circles. And I think we're gonna spend the next episode doing a lot of this and just kind of grinding if we can. There's room, I think, for at least 1 or 2 more level ups. Yeah, you gotta just press it faster. Yeah. There's room for 1 or 2 more level ups in the overworld. Let's see if we can. And that will get us like 1 or 2 items.
There's that smell again.
Nothing more to report at this time.
Crawl her out.
Interesting. So that's not the guy we need to talk to upgrade. But the scavenger hunt. I think we need to talk to this guy. The fire's reset too, so... And the bears reset. So if there is any secret around starting the fires in the bears, I don't know what it is. So was this the guy with the scavenger hunt? I feel like he was.
Hey, wanna watch me shoot something?
You wanna see me wring your neck like a mop?
Interesting. Well then let's go back to the HQ.
Hey, how can you be over there and in my ear at the same time?
Shh! You're blowing my cover. That part of my mind is running an undercover operation, while another part of my mind is projecting itself into your head here.
Wow! You can do all that stuff at once?
Well, you could say my brain is multifaceted. Now then.
So I guess that
I need to
explains
regroup back at HQ.
some stuff.
Affirmative. Prepare for extraction.
So the fast travel points also are kind of useless. Like, because you end up also having the bacon that will just automatically fast travel you. We should be able to level ourselves up a couple times. So we are 4 ranks short, which if we're turning in the scavenger hunt here, which I think we are, then we will
Agent Cruller?
So, how goes the training?
I'm ready to go back into the field.
Okay, let's see if I remember exactly where you were.
So it will just load you back where you are. Sort of. Although we still have an issue here in that the scavenger hunt items, telescopes that were once popular among area pirates until they learned that they could see further using clairvoyance on bird feathers. Interesting. Do I have clairvoyance? Glass eye. I'm always losing mine around camp. If you find one, please don't scratch it because I'm running out of spares. Alright. So if you're not talking to the janitor crawler, and you're not talking to Agent Crawler, then you need to probably talk to the farmer crawler, which may very well be exactly what it said, and I just hit the button too fast to pay any attention to it. It's definitely going to be grindy though if we spend the entire next episode just using the Dowsing Rod trying to get at least 400, if not 800 arrowheads. It seems weird, to say the least, that the mental cobwebs gun would be so expensive and they would introduce it at the very beginning of the game.
Looks like you got that little patch of dirt pretty well raked.
Shush! I'm looking for my contact lens.
Hey, check it out. I'm halfway done with the scavenger hunt.
Holy smokes, look at that! Well then, here's the first half of your reward.
So now new side
Don't be
powers.
lazy. Finish that list. Get!
I collected the wrong arrowhead. Alright. So if I use this, yeah, that bird feather still doesn't seem like it's useful yet.
Delicious. Hey, looks like you're ready to take on a new psychic power. Ready to come back and get your new merit badge?
And see, this is basically
Alrighty
what
then.
you were supposed to be supposed to do. And honestly,
In recognition
there
of
should
your
be at least a
hard work,
prompt of
dedication,
hitting
and mental agility,
hitting a D-pad to
I'm
get there.
proud to bestow upon you the official merit badge for invisibility.
And I don't know how invisibility is going to really help you. Like, maybe
Okay,
later on in the
let's play a
game it will
Look
play a
out,
role.
Another sensor. Oh no, you're out of ammo.
Seems
No,
like
I'm
we're
not.
gonna.
You are now. Here are the rules. Take this guy out.
Seems like we're gonna be
but if
fighting
he sees you
sensors
at
the whole
all,
time.
You lose. Go get him.
Okay. Right bump to go invisible.
Hey, where'd he go? On a completely unrelated topic. Oh,
There we
well
go.
done. That's the power of invisibility. I think I've heard the kids around camp refer to this technique as silent but deadly.
Alright, so that was quick and easy as far as the recap.
Where would you like me to take
And
you,
I'm glad
Agent
it doesn't load to the fast travel.
Take me to the kids' cabins area.
Crawler? With pleasure.
I doubt invisibility, though, is going to really help us much. As it is. Unless our invisibility could be then taught to this guy, and then he would reward us with a whole bunch of arrowheads or invisibility could be used to mess with this guy. Like, it's questionable. Also, you can't come in here and choose a bunk bed and sleep. Also, notice that there are no names on any of the chalkboards. Alright, so overall, there's only one side card and one thing we can't even find until later in this area. So this was a terrible area to end at. There are 8 more scavenger items, but almost certainly you wouldn't be able to get any more of them. There are 70 more Psy cadet ranks, which is questionable because it really does feel like we're going to have to get to a lot more areas to figure that out and pull that off. A lot of these must also be in levels, like the vaults we've only seen in mental levels, and the emotional baggage we've only seen in mental levels. Part of the problem I think we may run into with Psychonauts 2 when it comes out is that you're going to want to recoup and bring back a bunch of characters, and without bringing in new characters to go into their heads, you're not going to have much of a much of an experience. Interesting. Turn to brain tumbler, buy a cobweb duster at the cabin store, which I guess maybe I could just do the brain tumbler, but I also wouldn't be surprised if there is more, if it just tells me I need to actually run around and find all the collectibles before I can do anything more. Yeah, it honestly feels like there may literally only be one more head we go into, and that doesn't really make sense, or we're going to have a whole collection of bad guys appear, or we're going to have to go into the head of every single student. That would make decent sense, honestly, is if the Titanium explodes and drives everyone crazy, and then Razputin, well, probably the cause of everybody going crazy, also has to be the cure for it. So, in-game wise, we've been playing for 4 hours. In practicality, which clearly it's not counting the cutscenes, we've probably been playing for 5 or 6 hours. Yep. And it's still moving fairly slow, probably because I'm being a little too precautious. And so maybe it would be smarter to just jump into the story and continue. Yeah, I think that's really what we should do next episode, is just try and move the story forward. Who knows, we may find some ability or some upgrade that lets us collect a lot more arrowheads faster, or maybe going through the levels in the brain will let us collect a lot more arrowheads faster. I doubt we're going to use the dowsing rods inside the head missions. I don't really use any of the items really that often. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.